Just got it started.
Did you start the thing, Trish?
You're all set.
Ready to go? Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Trish.
Mrs. Wu,
Here.
Mr. Kramer,
Here.
Mr. Menegini,
Here.
Mr. Moraro,
Here.
Mr. Pop.
Here.
We'll move on to the approval of the agenda.
Yeah, should we approve the agenda? Jeff.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Moraro.
Yes.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Wu.
Yes. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of April 5th and the closed session of April 5th, 2021.
I make the motion, we approve the regular meeting of April 5th, 2020.
Support.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Moraro.
Yes.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Wu,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer.
Yes.
I make the motion, we approve closed session of April 5th, 2021.
Support.
Mr. Moraro.
Yes.
Mr. Pop.
Yes.
Mrs. Wu.
Yes.
Mr. Kramer.
Yes.
Mr. Menegini.
Yes.
We'll move on to approval manifest 2021-08. Scott, do you have any questions?
I have nothing for tonight now.
Correct?
I have none.
Jeff?
None tonight, Madam Mayor.
Rico?
None.
I have a couple. Let's see, on page 2 of 7, down in Public Works, partway down, it says DOT screening for 203. And then if you go to 4 of 7, under the electric department, DOT screening for the same people for $73.
So those are going to be random tests, and they probably came on the same bill,
Why would one go under electric and one go?
because you have someone from the electric department that had to go for a test, and someone from the DPW goes for a test, someone from water, so then you would have them in the different departments, depending on whatever department that they're.
Okay, because it had the, I don't want to say it, but they had the 2 names behind it on both of them and they were the same.
I
Yeah.
think there's another name that.
Wasn't.
Yeah, because as you say, $203 for one test
Yeah.
and 4 for the other, doesn't make a lot of sense, right?
But sometimes they're alcohol, sometimes they're no alcohol.
Oh, okay.
It's random. They are different.
But the description is
Okay, that's fine.
Gotcha.
And then, under the electric department, transformer labels, 63504,
And
4 of 7.
go ahead, Scott.
What they are is they're reflective labels for the front of the transformers on all underground. And it's to help us identify transformers when we're doing these underground conversions. So it was like a kit that came together so we can go out there and when we shine a flashlight at night, we're looking for a piece of equipment, we'll shine back so you can see what number it is.
Oh, so we've never had these before.
Really,
Okay,
it's a pretty good idea, actually.
that's all I have. You'll have a motion?
A motion to approve manifest number 2021-08, the amount of $251,378.28.
Support.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Wu.
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini.
Yes.
Mr. Moraro.
Yes.
Do we have any previous questions that you needed to answer?
No previous question.
Anyone in attendance wishing to address the council on an agenda item only shall do so at the podium. Anyone on Zoom wishing to address the council can raise their hand and use the chat. And the host will initiate the unmute for telephone participants, hit *9 to initiate request to speak. In either case, state your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person.
Yeah, I don't have anybody. Madam Mayor.
We'll move on to communications, approval, city hall office hours. Mr. Anderson?
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. As you can see, we have a request from staff for consideration to move into summer hours. Actually, when we did our investigation into all the different public halls, you can see the list. None of them actually had summer hours. They all had different hours. The request is for 7:30 to 4. So I know that, I know Trish or Mary, if you had anything you wanted to comment to that, I think that it was basically just a request. We've requested it in the past, and there has been some hesitancy because they talked about, the previous councils that wanted the city hall to be open until 5. I'm not sure. I think it's someone gets a habit, because there's many people that maybe get off of work, even if they get off of work at 5, they're not going to make it to City Hall. Whereas somebody actually, if we open at 7:30, they could actually make it before they start work at 8. So it's.
Well,
Those are the ones that got up at 4.
The ones that get off at 4, we'd be closed. If we go,
It would be open now, though.
We're open now, yeah.
Another thing too, maybe past councils, rejected it too, because I don't think we've had the, where you can pay outside years ago either.
Yeah, now we have very
So you
little
can
bit.
still
You were
pay
talking
your
about
bill.
the amount of, especially now that we can pay online.
Online bill payment is taken off like crazy.
Especially with this COVID
Yeah,
crap now, everyone's probably just gonna stay right with that.
Can we do it? Can we set up auto on that, Mayor, or no?
Yes. This summer, by June 1st, we'll have it also set up for tax payments.
Nice.
We really don't see a ton of
Yeah.
traffic between 4 and 5.
Will the girls still be here till 5, but we would just close the office, or?
Well, we run a kind of an overlap schedule right now, depending on, so you get your 8 to 9 hours in. So if you're closing up we have to also count the drawers.
So you'd be here till 4:30, are you thinking?
Someone could be here till 4:30.
It would probably vary. On slow days, it'd probably be closed at 4 o'clock, and everyone will go home, because they work 8 to 4, or 7:30 to 4 and have a half-hour lunch.
Mhm.
But there's days that they'll be here till 4:30, because we close the window, on the 25th, and by the due date, they're balancing their drawers till 5:30.
So 6 to 5 would be good.
6 to 5.
We're thinking like 6 to 6,
Well,
man.
and we could do it on a trial basis and see.
Well, that was what we kind of suggested, try
Yeah.
it for the summer, and if it doesn't work,
When we go back,
yeah.
Mhm.
I'd be for that.
The other thing is the other departments close at 3.
3.
So if you get anything afterwards, anyway, you're scheduling it for the next day unless it's an emergency, you're doing a call. There's not much we can do, after 3 o'clock for water or internet.
Well, even, from 4 to 5, I mean, even if we close that hour earlier, there's still the call out that they can call the automated.
Guys, does it make any sense that maybe we instead of, it's 8 to 5 now, and now we're saying 7:30 to 4, maybe it's like 7:30 to 4:30? Does that help at all?
What is it, 'cause you got an hour lunch now?
Yeah.
And you want to cut down to a half hour?
Right. I don't go home for lunch because it's too far. Lisa doesn't go home for lunch, it's too far.
I'm just wondering if people that are used to being open till 5 now.
I think that's the
Right.
biggest thing, is that people are used to the time, and so
Right.
it's a change.
So I thought maybe we could incrementally kind of crawl and change it back, and then sooner or later you could definitely move to 4, just an idea, that's all.
Well, one of the things we talked about, we didn't really put a start date in here, is starting it after Memorial Day. Was what our original talk was, so we could get it in the newsletter, so you're not just starting next Monday, all of a sudden you're closed.
Well, what we could do too is, start it after Memorial Day and try it for a month and see if we get any,
Oh, we will. Yeah, I'm like Scott said, whatever, I'm open to trying.
Is there anything contractually against this?
No. No, that's a management's rights. It's council's rights to, for the window.
Okay.
On a motion.
There's no more questions. Do I have a motion to try it on a, can we put that in there on a trial basis?
Trial from after Memorial Day
Till
to.
4th of July?
4th of July.
Yeah, start, check it after the 4th. Can we do that, Grant? Bring it back up on the agenda, have Ray put it back up on the agenda, review it.
And if there's no gripe about it, then it gets stayed, it doesn't matter.
Is that your motion?
I make a motion that the city hall office hours be changed from 7:30 to 4 PM. Start after Memorial Day and go to the 4th of July on a trial basis, and we can go from there.
Second.
Yes?
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Morrow?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
We'll move on to approval Dickinson Trail Network. Mr. Anderson?
All right, at the last meeting, we heard from Mr. Morgan on the proposed or the progress that they've made with the DTN and the trails, and at that meeting, they talked about a event coming up in October, and then they also talked about an extension that they want to make, a tie-in they want to make from the north parking lot in Strawberry Lake over across city property to over by Norway Mountain. So the request was to come back for with an extension to their current agreement. Grant, I don't know if you want to add to that because you did some work. You did a quick modification to the agreement, which is what you have for you tonight.
Just briefly, council, the property use license that is what we have utilized in the past, what we adopted in the past. That this reflects very closely with the Marquette Trail System and the Trail Network, according to the number of different licenses. But I also did a cache I have for the most recent and updated trail maps, just because I thought of all the progress that is made, the progress the city has made. I thought it makes sense just to have one up-to-date map with exhibits on. You'll see a north and south trail system. The city is very proud of at this point. The south trails are fully mapped out. You can see the legend. The north trails are getting caught up, and those are the more recently constructed trails. So I thought it was most prudent than as an exhibit so that council could see one reference point for all of the trails that have been built at this time, that have been previously agreed upon and utilized, and now the most recent ones. The most recent ones that Mr. Morgan referenced were Norway North trails. Also, last year, trails, all of that was put in place. That's the one starts by the spring, goes up onto the hill behind the Norway Spring and works its way down through and circles back to the spring. And off to the right, far right, blue again, is a zigzagging pattern that is property that we have out by kind of Roshan Lane, out by that way, and goes around a number of panoramas through the woods. And then also extends up over onto almost the old Norway Mountain side a little bit. It's pretty impressive work they've done up there. You can see the green a little bit. That is what he was chatting about. He calls them connectors. So basically, I think as much as you can, try to zigzag through the woods to stay out of pavement, stay out of sight, and somewhat rustic and scenic. So I think that encompasses kind of where he was looking at doing what is most recent old work.
Thanks, Grant. Do I have a motion?
Motion that Dickinson Trail Network requests to build single track bike trails on city-owned property be approved.
Support.
Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Morrow?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Proof?
Yes. City of Norway Safety Program, Mr. Anderson.
Okay, so in December, remember that council declined moving forward on our current agreement, or our agreement at that time with MEUW for the safety program. And we, staff and pretty much our safety committee started working on what we were going to try and do to accomplish our safety program. And one of the areas we were already moving in with MEW was an online training platform. And so a part of the one of the proposals I have actually is, well, I've given you the three proposals. One is the MEW program as we had it before, but basically is one day a month. The ELEAP is a program that was brought to us by MEW, but it was priced separately. We were going to actually pay at that ELEAP program is actually part of that $7,000 that's proposed by MEW. So they would pick up the cost for that, but that ELEAP program is $3,100. Scott's with us tonight, Scott Hagee, and he actually did a lot of work. He went out and looked, and he found this safety skills online training program, and that is actually $1,900, $1,990. We prefer that. We had a committee reviewed the proposal. We prefer that program. It's more flexible. The ELEAP program limits us to, we have to pick a number of, the seats are the same. We have 30, we estimate 30 seats. They're the same, but in the ELEAP program, we had to pick a number of courses. So we had to choose like 50 courses. In the safety skills, it's unlimited. Whatever they have in their platform, we can use it. And so we think that there's actually provisions within the program that allows us to document and keep people's personal records. It also allows us to use other types of training, such as orientation training or some operational type training, not just pure safety training. Now, I'm going to remind you that there are going to be some costs as we move forward for like first aid, CPR, but we already know that for a couple $100 we can have the right, is it Red Cross? Yeah, right. Actually, one of the members of the fire department is registered to teach. So we'll just have them come in and do it. So we really like this program. We really hope the council agrees with us and that we're asking for you to approve
I
that.
agree. It's a lot cheaper than what the
Yeah.
MEW was.
Oh, yeah.
I've been complaining about.
Well,
You looked into this now?
Yeah.
How comfortable did you feel with them?
What's that?
How comfortable did you feel when investigating them?
Yeah, they're really good company. I spoke with one of my neighbors there, and their program is very well thought out. One of the biggest things I liked about it was, let's just say confined space. So like at the highway, we have certain areas where confined space, we can actually go out there, take photos or even a video and attach it to the safety program. So when an employee goes in and tries to do the confined space entry at the hydro, it's specific to our site.
It's right there. Okay.
That's really cool.
That's nice.
It's pretty nice.
Kenny, if I may, I just want to comment. You guys were pretty upset about the training costs back in December. I remember it was pretty heated meeting. Kudos to y'all for going out there. You saved $13,000 a year right there.
Mhm.
And you guys think it's gonna be a better program maybe? in the long
I think
run?
it's going to be a better program.
Yeah, I mean,
The
that's
safety
great.
committee
That's
was
what I was
excited
saying
about
right
it,
there.
actually, when we went through it.
Yeah, we do appreciate you guys.
I'm like, it's something like, what's it, 400 courses or 700 courses, something like that.
And-
yeah, they will.
Great.
And growing.
I have one question. Is the heads of the departments gonna be responsible for their guys for doing the training? Who is gonna be, because we've gotta have somebody
Yeah.
responsible to make sure this training is being done.
Yeah, so it's documented within the program. So, to give you so much time in order to actually go through the course. And then, we have everybody on the safety committee, everybody from the department, someone from the department's on the safety committee.
Yeah.
And so they're responsible, and it's typically the supervisor, but we don't just want the supervisor. We want or the foreman, we want the employees also to be part of it. So
Who's
we have
working
them in the
hands-on
committee
with
as
that
well.
stuff every day?
Right.
Yeah.
Usually an employee, you can open up their profile and see what's new, what's coming new, so you can manage work time. And then as like Ray or any department head could look at the people that they're overseeing and see if they're current or if they're coming new.
Scott, I'm sure in that program, it'll automatically, when you guys set up from the administrative level, it'll send you emails.
Yeah.
Saying so-and-so is passed due or, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then you can get on them that way and Ray, you'll get it from there too. You know, so you can.
The other thing is that this program allows, like the police department that has something very specific to Michigan, very specific to police, that we can add that to the program.
Yep.
Good,
Great.
good job.
Or electric would be another one. I mean,
Do I have a motion?
A motion that the City of Norway Safety Program be awarded to Safety Skills Online Training Program for a price not to exceed $1,990 a year.
Support.
Mr. Mankey?
Yes.
Mr. Morrow?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Wu?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Move on to approval, water department well pump number 3 replacement.
thank you, Madam Mayor. I provided you some information in a memo in the past month, over the past month, but we had a failure on our well pump number 3. We do have the other 2 pumps that are working, but we had to move forward with getting our ducks in a row to get this pump. That's our main well pump down at the well site. We did submit this to our insurance because, in our opinion, it was compromised with a couple of lightning strikes, the turkey. Remember I was telling you about the turkey getting fried in the lines. That does affect it. We just found out today, though, that we were denied on the insurance just because the age of the pump was, what was it, 12 years old or something? And yeah, I think it was 12 years old, and the insurance company said, well, the lifespan of it is 10 to 15 years, so they denied us on it. So we gave her a good shot, but we do need to move forward, and so we're asking council approval to move forward with Lyman pump and well drilling to provide us with the replacement pump for $36,475.89.
Is there, I know the same budgeted for, is there enough in the budget to take care of that?
We're gonna move some things around, but we have to get this. So
I know is that the only bid we got?
that is the only one, yes.
And that's because of climate.
This climate.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I did call around and there are some drilling companies, like going over towards Waters Meat. You go over to Manistee, you go down, and it's very regional. I found out it's very regional. So, I mean, that's why we're recommending to move forward with Kleiman. They worked on this on our well site before with this type of situation. If we have and like in the future, we're going to be dealing with a new well site, and we're going to be doing some well testing. I'm probably going to bring to you, I don't want anybody to be surprised, I'm going to bring to you a kind of a bid package. So we will get bids on some outside firms, but we'll have more time to work with it and do
I know Meddy's local, right? Meddy didn't want to play.
not on this scale.
Do I have a motion?
Madam Mayor.
Yep.
Even though this is buying a pump, they did provide a full contract for services. I'm sure that Mr. Morrow caught this, the attachments. The 2 things that jumped out at me. Number 1 was that in the event of an issue, question of law, the situs or the jurisdiction in Texas, and as much as I like to go to Texas to litigate the issues that might pop up, I would suggest it's a lot like our standard term we always get with contractors that forfeit or cash limitations of liability or site location. One would be that, the caveat would be that means you give, we've done this in the past, that the council allowed Mr. Anderson and myself to contact Mr. Kleiman to address that. So it's Michigan, not Texas.
Yes.
And on paragraph 16, there's a general and full limitation of liability, which requests or contracts that we exclude and waive all liabilities. It acknowledges that we cannot basically pursue any costs associated with damages that arise out of any negligence or mistakes they make. I would propose either be stricken or, as we've done in the past, require insurance policies that at least $1 million is generally the amount Because most businesses say they won't do business with us because they can't afford to. It's unlimited, is what council's done in the past, as we've discussed ad nauseum. Is the other option is require a $1 million insurance policy, make a reference that the limitations of liability are to their insurance policy. But I'd ask for both of those caveats.
Good catch,
Yeah,
Grant.
took the words out of my mouth.
Do I have a motion with them restrictions? To allow Grant and Mr. Anderson to, review the, stuff with, Lyman.
I'll motion that we approve well site pump number 3 replacement. And award that to Climate Pump and Well Drilling for price not to exceed $36,475.89 with the inclusion of language stricken under the limitation of liability, exclusion of consequential cost loss paragraph, and also the state of Texas be changed to the state of Michigan.
Mr. Morale?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Yes.
Mrs. Blue?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. McKee?
Yes. One question I have that comes off of this is, if you look at all the work reports, it's all tree limbs and trees. How much time have we spent like clearing out the power line that main feeds our well site? I mean, there's three times here where it's three instances where it was a tree, well, I'm sorry, 2 and a turkey. So, I mean,
And a turkey. Is that a turkey a pear tree or just a regular tree?
We brushed it this fall, but the problem is, when you start getting close to the wall site, it's white pines, and these white pines are, some of these limbs are 40 feet above, well, not 40, say 20 feet above the line, and when you get 8 inches of snow and bag down, we can't reach them.
What about when we have, well, you didn't put it in your budget last year, but if we had Asplin come in, they could reach them.
So, one of the alternatives, because of it's just completely inaccessible back there, basically from, when we bring in Course driveway back to the well site, would be to bury that portion of it, which I think have in the budget like 2 years from now, I think. So that would be a permanent fix.
That's bucks.
Is it
Yeah,
worth doing
trim.
that with the stuff that we're gonna have to do at the well site?
So, well,
Underground electricity.
David's also looking into some of the issues at the well site. One of the big problems is that's a delta secondary, meaning that there's no neutral.
Yep.
So he's looking into the feasibility of widening out. That would help a lot. That would offer better fault current protection. So if we can get it wide out and get it buried, yeah, that's gonna be really reliable back there. Part of the other advantage to doing that way, now we've got 3-phase power sitting at the well site. If customers were to come into the industrial park and come on the driveway and pick them up.
So would it be worth our time to get a quote to see about brushing out them lines, from like an Ashland or somebody like that, just to get a rough idea how much that's gonna cost? Because I mean, 36,000 in 2 instances, I mean, that's a lot of brushing in my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
I have one other question too for you, Scott. When, that went out, did we go offline at the dam or anything?
I don't think either one of those two did it, because that tap, the 3-phase tap's used. Don't believe that kicked the high wall.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 3 occasions?
There was 3 occasions that couple of the lightning strikes and then the turkey, and I don't remember going offline because of the
No, I
well
don't
site.
think we did.
That was up
Jalen and I
line.
were out there in snow, like, over our waist, and having marched back in there numerous times. We were out there all night, a couple times, just taking sticks and trying to hit the snow off with the branches. Yeah.
What are you talking about, turkey? I was listening to that meeting last week too, and you're talking about turkey.
It's in
So
the memo.
in spring, we had a turkey come out of the roost, and he came flying through the 3-phase and went phase to phase. And kicked the fuses out, kicked the well set off line.
She had fried turkey.
Rotisserie.
Fried turkey.
Usually we're just talking squirrels, so it's kind of unusual to have a turkey.
Yeah,
And that's another reason it's important to keep up with our tree trimming too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, 100%.
Move on to electric department, Forest Drive, Viking Lane project, phase 2.
I'm gonna turn this over to Mr. Hagee, it's just stay up there.
So, last year we did the backyards behind Viking and Forest. Now this year we're going to go to the center. Once again, that's backyard easement. We didn't tackle that project last year because, AT&T and I believe a lot of gas is in there. It's not that far, but it's gonna be really labor intensive because we're gonna be hand digging a lot of it. So, that's why we wanted to just focus on it this year. At the end of that project, when we get to Pine and heading south, we're gonna bring all 3 phases back together again and rise them up on the 3-phase highway line. And then we can actually reverse that beat, and then the school and the whole neighborhood will be on an underground dedicated circuit. So that should increase reliability as well. Right now, the way the school is fed is from the wastewater treatment plant, it kind of comes to the swamp. It's once again, it's inaccessible, comes to the neighborhood and feeds the school. So when this is done, everything will be underground.
If I remember right, this is one of our problem children, right? One of our areas that we had a lot of
Yeah.
problems.
did we send out, we had to notify all the landowners, right?
Yeah, we did not.
Is there money in the budget? Was that budgeted
Yeah,
for this
yeah.
year?
Yeah, I think I had it in there.
Yeah.
115,000 is in the capital, this project will be 65.
Because I knew we had to take away from a lot of other projects.
Right, yeah, I did look at my notes and I hadn't taken anything out of capital.
Any other questions? Is there a motion?
I'll move that the electric department be approved to purchase the necessary equipment and material for phase 2 of the Forest Drive Viking Lane project for the price not to exceed $65,077.
Support.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Drew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Magee.
Yes.
Mr. Morano.
Yes,
Sturgeon Falls Hydro replace auto dialer. Scott?
Okay, so I think I wrote in there, this is not budgeted. So what happened is AT&T sent us a notice that our monthly bill is going from 80 to 137. And we had, service from AT&T. The line coming down the road has been severed several times and it's pretty unreliable. So looked into what our options are to lower our costs. And I spoke, Jesse from FBS kind of got me going in the direction, and then I made a lot of phone calls. So our current auto dialer is by a company called Sensible. They make a new one that is cellular enabled. So once again, get into the problem of now hiring will have cell reception. So they specifically said, put in a Wilson machine-to-machine repeater that has an antenna on the roof. So it'll talk directly to the auto dialer and give it the best connection. I said, well, can we just put a cellular booster in because we don't have service in there? They recommended not. They said, you want something that talks directly to the thing so it won't fail. So, I think it was like about $3,600 a month, including $3,400 up front. And then it's $299 a year thereafter versus $137 per month. So.
I have a question on that, Scott. So the booster is gonna have to be plugged into electrical, right?
Yeah, it's plugged into the wall.
So what happens if the power goes out?
So where this is going, we're gonna actually have a little battery backup. So it'll plug into that battery backup, I think it's got 2 hours of service time. But also by that point, the Caterpillar backup generator should be running. So everything should be powered back up. So it's like triple redundant,
what happens when you lose cell tower?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna have it,
right?
that's the problem with cell,
Mhm.
right? And it happens quite a bit.
It happens, it does happen, but we also lose AT&T right now as well.
When there's a fiber cut, we lose AT&T?
What's
I
that?
don't, AT&T's got redundant fiber, I don't, when there's a fiber cut, I don't,
We lose it because their line coming down to the hydro is right along the road. It's probably been caught by the grader how many times? And they said it's a 12 pair, or they're down to the last 2. So that it just keeps getting severed and they just keep kind of patching back together. It's really not our problem. I mean, if the thing fails, it's their problem.
Yeah, because I don't remember, I mean, I don't know if it just happened since you started taking over, but I don't remember AT&T giving us too much of a problem. I mean, as far as reliability
Yeah.
for there.
well, there's something called, to your point, Ken, there's something called the 5 nines in telephone. They have to by law keep it up 99.999% of the time. In the wired world, you do not have that in the cellular world. So
I don't know if I
that's
like-
why all your hardline 911, you know, certain things have to be hardline.
Yeah, this is definitely not a necessity. This is kind of a recommendation, like, hey, our bill went up $57 a month. This is an option to save money in the long run. Talking with Jesse, feels comfortable that it's gonna be reliable. But like you said, towers we put down. It's not to say that that's the only line of communication, it's backup line of communication. Our primary means of talking to the plant are through the fiber. So this is just backup in the event the fiber goes down, which does happen. It's happened 4 times since I've been here.
What the chances of the fiber and the cell tower being down at the same time?
Exactly.
Let's just fight off the same fiber.
Well, it's not wireless, so, yeah. So, yeah, it's just a backup.
And this ain't budgeted for.
This is not
And we-
budgeted for. But we have $2,600 budgeted for a cell phone booster, which would be just a voice one, kind of on the safety side of things. We're obviously not gonna get to that this year, so we could take the $2,600 that budget, stick it towards that, we get close.
I think you showed an ROI on it, first of all, thank you. That will save us money in the long run over time. I don't know that we necessarily have to do it right now, we can run it for next year's budget.
The other side of it, which I didn't write in here, the current census phone is probably 20 years old. It might last another 20 years, but it is 20 years old. This would be slightly outdated.
I'm just worried about the reliability. I don't like taking chances. I mean, I appreciate you bringing it here. And I don't like keep paying the bill and it seems like it keeps going up. But,
Can I ask a question? Mary, we just got that bill from AT&T. Are they asking us to try and consider another agreement, or we just pay that per month now?
They didn't even contact us when the agreement was up. We had a 1-year contract on there and they didn't even contact us. They just upped the price.
Probably take us a year to get a hold of them.
Yeah, I haven't contacted them on that. That same issue with fax line in the office.
Okay, so, I mean, we can go month to month right now. I mean, we can run it through budget hearings too, I suppose, you know, I mean, it's just that your ROI doesn't obviously start until we can cut the tie with them, but.
There may be a cheaper price to do it, but they're gonna lock you into a 1 or 2 year contract.
well, let's look into see what we got.
I can contact them and see if I can. But, and see what kind of contract they want to lock in.
I guess where I was kind of going is if you wanted to hold off, we can keep this package together and just, you know, work it through the budget. You know,
I think I would prefer to see it go through the next budget.
go through the budget cycle, and at least we have we have a package for it.
Yeah, we did enough ahead of time.
Yeah.
that we-
Well done, Scott. That's close.
Thanks, Scott.
Do we have to do anything with that, grant?
That's the motion, and it'll die for lack of.
Okay. Do I have a motion on that? Okay, we'll move on. Department of Public Works repairs the garbage truck.
Okay, so, on this issue, we had an issue with the garbage truck that needed to be towed up to UP International. They are our local international dealer. And so the cost for repairs is $2,970.02.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that UP International Trucks Incorporated be approved to repair city garbage trucks for a cost not to exceed $2,917.02.
Support.
Mrs. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Mancini?
Yes.
Mr. Morrow?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
G, Department of Public Works Equipment Hoist.
Okay.
Mr. Anderson.
So, all right, thank you, Madam Mayor. All right. We had an issue about a month ago or so, where it was noticed that, one of the anchor bolts in our existing hoist, failed or was corroded. We did an investigation and pretty much all the anchoring in the hoist was corroded. Really we just had to red tag it. I mean, you couldn't put equipment on it safely anymore. So Rick went in, he did some evaluation on what our options were. Obviously replacing the hoist is something we need to do. There was no way to retrofit it safely per code. So he went out, he got some pricing. Mohawk lifts, and I asked him pretty hard about this. We got one price, which is Mohawk lifts for $17,461. Our lift needs to be rated at 15,000 pounds, and there are other lift companies around, but they're mainly what you see in your garage, the smaller passenger vehicle. This is for the big trucks. And so Mohawk is the dealer in this area. I think he said he could reach out to past Green Bays, past way out to maybe find somebody, but
And I'm sure we gotta get it replaced.
we have to get it replaced. Otherwise, he can't even change the oil.
Yeah.
This is a safety issue.
Yeah.
Absolute safety issue. So there's two components to this. One is the lift itself, and then there's another. We got bids on concrete, so we gotta tear out and totally renew the concrete base. So we have a price from TCR to do that for $7,600. Of course, you see we have multiple quotes on that. So the total is $25,061.40.
This wasn't budgeted, right?
No, this was not budgeted. Do we have a place in the budget to pay for this?
We're going to make more. We're going to make.
We don't have a choice.
We're gonna make it work, yeah. Because he can't do anything right now. We gotta send everything out, even for some simple stuff.
Okay.
There's gotta be something else in the fund.
Or you cut something and cut it, so. Okay. Do I have a motion?
That motion, Department of Public Works Equipment Lift Replacement be approved and awarded to Mohawk Lifts for a price not to exceed $17,461.44, and for the concrete replacement to TCR for a price not to exceed $7,600. Support.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Mancini?
Yes.
Mr. Morrow?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
That's a huge chunk of money, but
Oof.
when it comes to safety, you can't play out.
No.
No.
Anyone in attendance wishing to address the council on any item of interest shall do so now at the podium. Anyone on Zoom, raise your hand. Is that what you want me to say, Ray?
Yeah, they can raise their hand. We're having trouble with audio still on Zoom, so they could do a chat. They wanted to raise their hand or could recognize it, then they could send me a message.
Okay.
Chat, and I'll read it off.
So raise your hand and you can go on chat if you have a question. In either case, state your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person.
We're good.
Okay. We'll move on to mayor council comments. Scott?
I just have one. I'd like to thank Scott for looking into that safety thing. When it came to last year, I was kind of a stickler on that. Not that we should be doing this in-house. It's just every year it was getting more costly for the safety program. And that you're looking, saving us money looking into it, and that you're happy with it. Thank you for doing that work. That's all.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. I mean, it helps out tremendously. It does. We're on part of that same exact program that you're talking about. It does work great. One thing I'd like to see is we've been over budget or outside budget several times in the last couple of weeks, and I haven't seen no amended budgets.
Mhm.
And I would like to just see where we're gonna start pulling this money from. Thank you.
Jeff?
Yeah, I just want to echo Scott and Brett. Great job, Scott. Really happy about the solution that you brought us. It's common sense and it's going to save us a lot of money over time and try a better program. That's it for me, Madam Mayor.
Rico?
No comment.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that too for that. And is there a reason why the electric department's monthly report isn't in there?
I didn't see it. Did you send it? Oh, I didn't see it.
Sorry, I'll get it to you.
Okay, and then I was gonna ask you on that monthly report, when you do that, can you let us know if you go offline?
Yeah.
Can you put that in the report if we go
I
offline?
can do audit reports for distribution and the hydro.
Yeah, and if we ever go to the window of the water,
Deviations, sure.
would you add that to your report?
Yep.
All right, thank you. And you
I
can
usually
email-
ask them, yeah, I do like outage, we do every week, we talk about at the staff meeting, outage reports. If they file an outage report, I just put it in, so you guys can see what the outage
Yes.
report is. So we can carry that forward and.
Well, that's good.
It's the lowest I've seen since I've been here. We got it to a 6,000 river. That's not much.
I think it's time for a tour.
It's starting to go down now, is it?
Yeah, it's, probably about 45.
Where are we at on unit number 4?
Probably watering up on Thursday. So that'll be good.
So the ARM project's done then?
Yep.
Well, we need water for it.
Got it right now. Hopefully last.
All right, and then I also want to make a comment. I seen in our memorandum, Mr. Lynch had sent us an update that the Legion wouldn't be doing the 4th of July parade anymore. They don't have enough people to organize it. So if there's any organizations or people that maybe we can get a committee together that would like to help with the 4th of July parade, give us a call at City Hall. We'd appreciate any help we can get. And I want to thank Mr. Lynch and the Legion and Wally Sahosky for the years that he put that parade together. I know it's not easy and he did a great job. And the Legion always did a nice job. But Wally, thank you for all the years of letting Norway have such a great parade because you organized it. So,
Is there going to be a Memorial Day parade this year?
no,
As far as I know, Ryan Spence on VFW
okay,
is they manage Memorial Day.
Okay.
They're trying to have at least a small parade, but they're definitely gonna be doing the event out at the cemetery.
yeah, because did you read Mr. Lynch's letter? Because in his letter, it said they were only gonna be out at the cemetery.
Yeah,
If something changes,
I did talk to Ryan about a month or so ago, because he was asking about the COVID and where we were at, and he wasn't quite sure, but for sure that they're gonna push to have the ceremony.
Did the DDA take on the 4th of July parade?
I'm gonna bring this to the DDA meeting on Wednesday,
Yeah.
and Dennis is actually gonna come to talk, so we did the same thing with Leif Erickson when committee went out and we had trouble with finding people to help. And the DDA picked it up and the city picked it up for a little while, so until the committee started again. So, there's a number of different areas we're gonna talk about, but yeah, we definitely are gonna try and do something. I mean, these are events, that, you know, we've had for generations. I mean, we've had them for a long time. And we are, once you lose them, once they stop, it's almost very hard to get back going. So even if it's scaled down to a smaller event, try not to have it stop. And that's kind of the direction we're gonna hopefully go, is at least, you know, see if we can get some new blood to help organize.
Yeah, and we always have such a great turnout for our parade and our fireworks, thanks to the firemen every year putting on a great display of fireworks. You know, so it would be nice if we could get a parade together.
Yep.
And just so people know, you know, we are planning on having the fireworks on the 4th of July. I had questions about that. So hopefully we can get a parade going, as long as COVID or anything else doesn't stop us.
Danny, real quick, sorry.
That's okay.
Talked to a local business owner this weekend. I know Ray got a phone call. We all got a text message on who it was and what it was about. Just wondering, how do we go about maybe changing ordinance or making adjustments to ordinance, or maybe creating a new ordinance?
We just redid that ordinance.
We just redid that
Mhm.
one? Okay,
Yeah, we did.
okay.
Mhm. Anything else?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Ray?
I don't have anything. I mean, I know that, you know, I've been talking about it in-house, and, you know, with the uptick now in COVID cases, that, you know, just try and keep moving forward with the safety protocols. Just, you know, the governor pushed the mandates out again until May. So let's just make sure we keep our guard up still.
Yeah, it's growing in our area.
Yeah.
Thank you. Grant,
Nothing, thank you.
Mary or Trish?
Try it out, so.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, you're until like 7 at night.
Yeah, no more night out for you.
Good luck. I tried that.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make motion to adjourn.
Support.
Mr. Morrow.
Yes.
Mr. Cobb.
Yes.
Mrs. Rule.
Yes.
Mr. Kramer.
Yes.
Mr. Menny.
Yes.
So what do you think? What do you think about the, or Jimmy?